57?
Number 3.
Okay, number 3. The bottom, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, let's read.
57.
57. 57, lesson 3, down the bottom. Read the example and change the following sentence. Okay. Okay, let's read the sentence. The first one, they give an example. The first one, would you like to read, Ukhti Shima?
هذا كتاب لمحمد.
نعم. هذا كتاب. What does هذا كتاب mean? This is a book. هذا الكتاب لمحمد. This book belongs to Muhammad. What's important here? 2 things. Number 1, if we say هذا كتاب without alif lam, it means this is a book. But if we say هذا الكتاب with alif lam, it means this book. Not a book, right? This book. So if I want to say this book and then I want to say something after it, then I always put alif lam on the mudaf. So I say هذا الكتاب مفيد. This book is beneficial. هذا المسجد كبير. This mosque is big. But if I just want to say this is a book, this is a masjid, هذا كتاب. هذا مسجد. So this is what we benefit. Number 1. Number 2 is li. Belongs to is a harf jar. So it makes the next word majrur. That's why we say li Muhammadin. Li هذا الكتاب li Muhammadin. Belongs to Muhammad or is for Muhammad. Okay, we'll read the exercise. First one, Ukhti Shima.
هذا طبيب. هذا طبيب من الهند.
Excellent. هذا طبيب means?
This is a doctor.
No.
This doctor is from India.
Excellent. Next one.
هذه سيارة.
No.
This is a car.
Excellent.
هذا سيارة.
هذه السيارة.
هذه
نعم.
هذه سيارات للمدير.
Excellent.
This car belongs to the person.
Excellent. Anissa?
ذلك ولد. ذلك الولد ابن المدرس.
No.
This boy.
This is a boy.
This is a boy.
No.
This boy is the son of the teacher.
Excellent. Next one. سويسرا. تلك الساعة. That watch. Means سويسرا is from Switzerland. نعم. طيب next one.
هذا قلم. هذا قلم لعباس.
نعم.
This is a book. No,
This is a pen. هذا قلم. This is a pen. هذا القلم لعباس. This pen belongs to Abbas. Next one.
ذلك رجل لمؤذن.
ذلك الرجل مؤذن. Is there what's the first one? ذلك رجل. ذلك الرجل مؤذن. That man is a مؤذن.
هذه بيضة. هذه بيضة كبيرة.
نعم.
This is what's بيضة?
Egg. بيضة is egg.
This is an egg. This egg is very big.
نعم is big. Excellent. نعم.
Big.
نعم.
هذا منديل. What is
Mindil is handkerchief.
handkerchief? Okay. هذه.
هذا المنديل.
هذا المنديل
وسيخ.
This handkerchief is what?
Is وسيخ is dirty.
Oh, dirty.
نعم.
وسخ.
هذا المنديل وسخ. It means this handkerchief is dirty.
هذه حقيبة هذه الحقيبة للمدرس. This is a bag. This bag belongs to the teacher.
Excellent. Is that the last one?
That's the last one.
Okay. طيب, write it down.
Can we write
Write it down. Give you 2-3 minutes, inshallah, a few minutes, just to write the answers.
That is a watch. That watch belongs. That watch is from Switzerland. You can decide the female. Kesan, datang datang I don't quite understand.
Yep.
It says, for example, make question and answer sometime. Di
Yep.
mana ada kitab is the picture of a kalam.
Yes.
What is a kitab?
It's the book is a bit. There's a lot of printing mistakes in the book. So it's qalam. The book is the example, and the first one should be qalam.
Okay.
Then the second one like this.
All right, sure.
Even sometimes you find like harakat out of place. There's some, but I think they've revised all that. This might be the older copy.
So that means on this side must be all li something, right?
Yes, no, all li, correct,
All li.
correct. هذه البيضة.
بيضة كبيرة.
نعم هذه البيضة
البيضة.
كبيرة.
That means it's specific, right?
نعم specific. هذه البيضة. This egg.
Thank you.
هذا correct. المنديل. هذا المنديل.
Is it the lam here?
الألف لام. المنديل.
Oh.
Correct. Just add the lam.
Lam.
Lam. Yeah, that's it. المنديل وسيخون. MashaAllah, your writing is good. Who taught you how to write the?
I thought my writing is
No, very good. It's very good. Did you do writing classes when you were young?
not really because I went for an English stream.
Yeah.
But we do have
Khat. Because like when you bring down the lam, a lot of people don't do that. They just write the lam on the same line. So when you bring down the lam, usually that's like nice. That's good writing.
oh, thank you. Shukran.
Okay, the last one. هذه حقيبة. هذه الحقيبة للمدرس. Okay, excellent. للمدرس belongs to the teacher. Okay, let's do the next. Naam.
Okay.
Let's do the next exercise. We'll do it together and then we can continue writing after that. The example here, هذا لمن هذا الكتاب? Who does this book belong to? If you want to say it literally, because the lam is first, for who is this book? But in English, we translate according to the meaning, not according to the word for word. So we say who? For. So li can mean for, it can mean belong to, or it can mean for, depending on the sentence. That's why we call it, in Arabic, we call it lam al-milkiyah, the lam of ownership. Meaning, it doesn't matter if you say for or you say belongs to, but as long as you're indicating that someone owns it or has that pen, that's the purpose of the lam.
The lam means
It is harf jar. Naam. We say harf jar, one. But huruf jar is many. Harf is the singular, huruf is the plural. Lam is harf jar. Milkiya. That's the Arabic terminology. Milik, meaning ownership. You own. Naam, milk. So this is the lam milkiya.
So it means equal.
Yeah, ikra al-mithal. So with that example, and then we do the exercise according to the example. Mithal, thumma kawin. Mithal is example. Ikra al-mithal al-ula or al-ati, the following example. Thumma, and then kawin, put together. As'ila wa ajwiba mithlahu. Put together. Kawin, naam.
Put together.
Yes, kawin, like kawin, huh?
Like kawin?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Kawin.
Kawin.
No, kawin is to put together. طيب, put together as'ila,
As'ila.
but that's not from kawin, huh? Because in Arabic, nikah is
It's nikah.
naam, coming together is nikah. As'ila and ajwiba, which is questions. As'ila is the plural of su'al,
Oh.
and ajwiba is the plural of jawab.
Oh.
So you have other as'ila, su'al, ajwiba, jawab. طيب. مثله, like it.
Oh, like it.
نعم, like it. So, نعم, مثال, مثله. مثال is example. So easy, isn't it, Arabic? When you speak Bahasa, already you have like a quarter of the vocabulary of Arabic. Yeah, honestly. There's some people who learn Arabic and they don't know even one word in Arabic. In Bahasa, even if you never studied Arabic, but there's so many words, Arabic words, already you're halfway there. That's why I always say everyone in Malaysia should learn Arabic, because they will find it so easy. But the thing is, they have it in the school curriculum, but they should put more emphasis.
The sentence structure for
It's like Arabic as well.
Bahasa it copies the Arabic structure.
Also like Arabic, yes, yes. You mentioned the descriptive, what you're describing first, and then you describe it. That's Arabic and Bahasa. Unlike English, where you mention the description first, right?
Description first. So can you repeat again?
So ikra, read, al-mithal, the example, al-ati, the following example. This is a description. Following example, in English you would say the other way around. Thumma, and then kawin, put together.
Oh, put together.
As'ila, questions. Wa ajwiba, and answers. Mithlahu, like it.
Like it.
Like what? Like the mithal.
Like the misal.
Mithal is the example, right? So the first one, liman hadha al-kitab.
Man hadha al-kitab.
What does that mean?
Who's
To whom does
To
this
whom?
book belong?
Belong
To
to.
whom does the book belong?
هذا الكتاب لمحمد.
Muhammadin. Oh, the book belongs to Muhammad.
This book belongs to Muhammad. Okay, the next one, the pen. This is going by the picture. Yeah, the pen is the first one. Would you like to do the first one, Ukhti?
I thought it's the key.
No, it's the pen. It's because it's a bit. The pictures are a bit out of place.
Oh.
Naam.
Okay. Liman hadha al-qalam.
Excellent.
هذا القلم
لي
لشيماء
لعباس.
لأباس.
نعم ما جزاء. نعم.
نعم لأباس.
نعم. لشيماء also can. طيب نعم لعباس.
This is class they must
نعم لعباس.
Okay.
Okay, kasra because the lam is harf jar.
Okay.
Alright, the next one.
نعم.
نعم. What does that mean, أختي? What does it mean? لمن هذا القلم? The first one.
Okay.
لمن هذا القلم?
To whom does the pen belong to?
نعم.
هذا القلم لأباس.
نعم.
The pen belongs to Abbas.
Excellent.
Because the lam is
Belongs to, correct. Excellent. Next one, Anisa.
لمن هذا المفتاح؟ هذا المفتاح لعلي.
لعلي.
Ali.
نعم. Which means?
Whose pen does this belong to?
No.
Whose pen belongs to Ali?
Excellent. Next one.
لمن هذا
Okay, ka is sayyara is feminine. So we don't say liman هذا, we say liman هذه. لمن هذه السيارة?
هذه سيارة. Okay.
No.
هذه
Excellent.
سيارة.
هذه السيارة
سيارة.
أو السيارة
سيارة.
لي. The next one. للمدير.
Oh, it's like that.
نعم للمدير. See the first two because they're names. لي عباس. لي علي. But this one it has a alif lam, so we say لل مدرسي. لل مدرسي.
Again, when you use li, when you use
Mudiri,
lil,
no, Mudiri. Mudiri.
نعم لا sorry للمدير للمدير.
when you use lil and when you use li,
Okay, it's actually li. It's actually li, but because the next word is alif lam, so we have two lams. We say lil. So we say li. For example, هذا القلم لعباس. Right? This pen belongs to belongs to Abbas. The second example was هذا المفتاح علي. Here the علي belongs to this key belongs to Ali. The next one, because the word al-mudir has al-mudir, so we say هذا, what was the, هذه سيارة, right? The car. هذه السيارة طيب ليل look here we write lam and lam again للمدير so look normally when we write alif lam we don't say, we write alif, the alif al-wasal. But here we don't write, if we add the lam al-milkiya, we don't say not li al-mudiri. We don't say li al-mudiri. This is ta'sah. This is not correct. We don't say li al-mudiri. We join the two lams. So we say lil mudiri. Lil mudiri. Okay, so the words that have alif lam, this is the correct. The words that have alif lam, when we put lam al-milkiya, we omit the hamzatul wasal. So we just write li and li lam, lil mudiri. All right. We'll continue. The next one.
لمن هذه البقرة
Excellent.
للفل هذه بقرة
هذه البقرة.
هذه البقرة
نعم.
بقرة للفلاح.
Excellent. Perfect. هذه البقرة للفلاح. Same. للفلاح. الفلاح. Normally we would write alif lam. But when we join it with, we say lil falah, we just write two lams. Lil falah. Same like lil mudir. Okay, next one.
لمن هذه الحقيبة هذه الحقيبة للمدرس.
Excellent. Which means?
To whom does this bag belong to?
No.
This bag belongs to the teacher.
Teacher. Excellent. أختي شيماء?
لمن هذا الكرسي
No.
هذا الكرسي للعمار
لعمار.
لعمار.
Here we don't say lil because the name is Ammar, not al-Ammar. So here we say li Ammarin. Belongs to Ammar. Next one.
Alamak, dusta ke apa tu? Liman haza
Dikun.
oh dikun. Liman haza dikun.
Liman hadha diku.
Liman haza dikun.
Naam.
Why not dikun?
Because there's alif lam. Ad-dik.
Oh, adik. Okay.
So if there's alif lam, we cannot have tanween afterwards.
Man haza diku. Hazai.
Hadha diku. There's alif lam, but we don't pronounce it because of the shadda on the dal. So we say hadha diku.
Oh, haza diku. Bintu.
Li
Bintul.
li binti.
Oh, li binti.
Because li is harf jar. This one I'll write it down. هذا الديك هذا الديك لي لبنتي الفلاحي.
So this is mudaf ilayhi.
مضاف مضاف إليه. So the harf jar can precede the mudaf. It can even be connected to the mudaf, like yeah. لبنتي الفلاحي. Belongs to the daughter of the farmer. Okay, next one. Was that the last one?
No, there's three.
Okay.
لمن هذا الساعة هذه
هذه ساعة. No.
لمن هذه الساعة لابن المدير
لابن المدير. Excellent. هذه الساعة لابن المدير. I'll write it down for you as well. Let's clear this. Can we clear this one? Huh? You still right? Can. I'll leave this one. I'll leave the bottom. Okay. هذه الساعة. هذه الساعة. هذه الساعة. This watch. لي. What was the answer?
Ibni Mudiri.
Okay. لابني here we write the alif. لابني like this. المدير. Why? Why? Who can tell me why?
Because you combine lam and alif.
Because this alif is not alif lam. It's that alif lam is also wasal, but this is not al. If it's al, we remove the alif. But this is in origin alif al wasal and then ba. So this alif al wasal is part of the word, whilst here alif lam is a addition to the word. So here we can remove the alif lam, but this one we cannot remove the alif in this case. There is time when we can remove the alif, but in this scenario, when it's preceded by harf jar, we do not remove the alif.
Is it also because lam can be combined with the preceding letter?
Yeah, that's the origin. The lam is only combined with the preceding letter. The lam never comes by itself. But with the alif lam, we are removing the alif because it can be removed. In the case of ibn, we cannot remove the alif in this scenario.
So how do you read it?
هذه الساعة لابني المدير. هذه الساعة لابني المدير. نعم, you have to join it together. The proper way is to join it together, but most people don't, like when they're speaking, they don't talk like this. But the old Arabs in the old days, yes, that's how they used to speak. هذه الساعة لابن المدير. لابن المدير. And this is how we would say it if we were reading the Quran, like this. هذه الساعة لابن المدير. Usually nowadays I'll just say ibn al-mudir. Easier to pronounce. But that's not really technically correct because this is alif al-wasal joined with a letter, so we don't pronounce the hamza. We're not supposed to pronounce the hamza. All right, the next one. Was that the last one? There's one, the next one. نعم. نعم. هذا البيت للطبيب. للطبيب. نعم. Here do we write the alif or no? No. We say للطبيب. هذا البيت للطبيب, like this. للطبيب. هذا البيت للطبيب. Okay, next one. Was that the last one? لمن هذا المنديل. نعم. لمن هذا المنديل. هذا المنديل. للطالب. Same like للطبيب. للطالب. Correct. We write it the same way as well. Lam lam and then ta. للطالب. Which means?
Whose handkerchief is this?
No. This handkerchief
This handkerchief
belongs to
Talib.
the talib is the student.
To the student.
No. Excellent. I'll give you just 1 minute, 2 minutes for whoever hasn't finished writing. Just to finish writing that exercise. We'll just give 2 minutes and then we'll move on to the next exercise. Look at this masjid in Washington. Looks like the Haram. My sister's in America.
Beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, the new one.
You wouldn't think it's in America. You think
No.
like it's a Muslim country.
Middle East, yeah.
Which part?
Washington.
Oh, Washington.
DC or state?
That's a good question. Did she mention Georgetown? I'm not sure what that is. Georgetown.
DC.
Huh? DC.
DC.
You've been to America?
I studied
Oh, you studied there? Where, in Washington?
New York.
New York, mashallah.
Oh, city girl.
No, not New York City. New York is a very big city.
Yes, they.
But I was there on 9/11,
You were there 9/11. Wow.
Oh dear.
but not at New York City, so that's why I'm still here.
But how far from
A few hours
a few hours? Where were you exactly when it happened?
at home.
At home. And what was the
Yeah, someone like, I think we were like on instant messenger. So
Yeah.
someone from Australia was like asking me what's going on.
yeah.
I didn't know, and then
Wow.
then only I.
Wow. You know, I remember seeing the newspaper. I was in high school, I think year 10 or year 11, 2001, I think year 11. And it had it on the newspaper, terrorist attack. And that's why that's why later on when I grew up and then I realized that how the media portrays because I remember that image of me seeing the newspaper because many years ago, but I remember that image of I didn't know what was like I was too young to comprehend what was happening, but all I remember is the headline. So I didn't fully understand the whole scenario, but I understood that headline. So it shows how powerful the media is, right? And how they influence people's. But did you ever meet anyone that saw the planes?
What's that?
Did you meet anyone that actually was there or not? No. Because a lot of people claimed that, of course this is online, so I don't know if it's true, but they claimed that there was actually no planes at all.
Huh?
Yeah, some people claimed there was no planes. Detonation and the implosion, which brought the buildings down, but no sign of a plane.
Did you read
And
Dr. Musaddiq's book, The
Yeah.
Great Deception?
yeah,
It was very well researched.
the Great Deception, right.
And how the fact that Pentagon officials didn't fly that day.
Yeah.
And how the whole World Trade Center was devoid of Jews.
Right.
They knew
SubhanAllah,
about it.
wow.
Yeah, and the fact that the deployment of the what do you call it?
The fire brigade.
Weapons, yeah.
The
no,
fire-
No, because it's a so actually
SES,
Dick Cheney lied to say that he needs the directive from George Bush, because it's I forgot, because it's been so many years. That time I remember, and it was like a security code kind of thing. If anything happens, as a VP, you can just deploy the fighter jets that could, go up the sky within seconds.
Yeah.
But the fact that
It was undetected.
the near St. Andrews Air Force Base, which is a couple of miles.
Yeah.
Here, New York wasn't deployed. It was deployed like a few hundred miles.
Yeah. Some say there was no plane, and some say there was a plane, but it was a military plane, not a commercial airline,
And it was so funny.
not like a cargo.
I attended a wedding in Brisbane,
Yeah.
and at the table we were just talking about that. I just shared like this, and everybody was talking. It was an
Wow.
intellectual discussion at a wedding.
Yeah.
In Australia. You never get this here.
Yeah.
So it was
It's funny.
quite funny,
Yeah. But
And
the
they're all whites,
the
They
Pentagon was really where there was no plane.
Yeah.
For sure, the Pentagon, there was no plane. There was no remains of planes, nothing.
And why they could sue Dr. Hussain, he was a think tank in the UK,
Yeah.
because they're all facts and the excerpts of the interviews with Pentagon officials. So
Yeah.
it's a very good. Check
No,
it out
no.
because it's documented and it's not hearsay. It's not
Yes,
preparatory,
yes, yeah.
because it was interviews with Pentagon officials. With
Look,
the US
It's
administration.
enough to know
Yeah.
what they did after September 11,
Exactly.
to know that it wasn't Muslims who did it.
Exactly.
It's enough that they invaded Afghanistan and they invaded
on,
Iraq.
On Trump charges of weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, which is nonsense. Even the American citizens know now this is like all
And it
big
was
lie.
It was a well-known fact. Netanyahu was the one who prodded George
Yeah.
Bush. You know,
I heard they actually had a plan to invade Afghanistan, invade Iraq, and then invade Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
I heard that was one of the that was a big plan. But of course, they invaded Afghanistan, they invaded Iraq, and then it was harder than expected because of the resistance, right? So they stopped from attacking Saudi Arabia. And there's a very interesting hadith that talks about one of the signs. I know this is not a hadith class, but it's one of the signs of the Day of Judgment. Or one of the hadith that talk about the Akhir Zaman is a man will go into Medina, and there will be fruits, but no one in Medina to eat from the fruits. And he will go in and he will walk. By the time he reaches the end of Medina, he will collapse and he will die. And one of the scholars said the only explanation that makes sense of this hadith is a nuclear attack on Medina. And now, when people said things like this in the past, you would think, when people talk about World War III, nuclear world, it was like a thing you would just brush off. But now, if you look at the climate, the international climate and how things are happening, like between Russia and America and all of these, the superpowers, and it's very likely that there's going to be a big war, nuclear war against each other. And then they're going to, and during that time, they're going to use it they're going to attack Muslims as well.
But when that happens, only Mecca and Medina are the safe place?
No, that's for the Dajjal.
Okay.
That's when the Dajjal comes. They will. He cannot enter Mecca, Medina. No.
But it's always been the Zionist ambition, right, to have a greater Israel encompassing.
Yes,
Palestine,
greater Israel as well. That's why.
Iraq, Egypt,
No. So Allahu Alam, and look, they're trying to expand now into Lebanon, into that region, right? So it's not just Gaza. Gaza is only the beginning. Gaza, like we think Gaza is only the beginning to something.
Start of something bigger. They want the whole region.
They want the whole region. So there's no way, I'll tell you from now on, there's no way. Gaza, people are still keeping silent in terms of the superpowers. But there's no way that Israel will be able to expand in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, that area without Russia and China and so on getting involved. No way. Gaza, now there's still a thing because it's still considered a small region. But if they start expanding to, already America has a base in Syria, they have control of areas in Syria. Russia is present in Syria. Iran has presence in Syria. So already Syria is like what they want, whether it's for oil purpose or gas or it's irrelevant. But eventually something's going to lead to a big escalation, a big war, Allahu Alam.
Yes,
Yeah. And it looks like that's something that we used to talk about could have been something after our time. But now it seems like it's coming closer and closer to our time. Allahu Alam how this will evolve, but it's interesting. Anyway.
Egypt allow all exports
Naam.
used by these.
Naam. Allahu al-musta'an. The next exercise we say al-baytu. Here this exercise, what is it telling us? It's showing us that the alif is not affected by the harf jar. The alif is not affected by the harf jar. Why? Because I can't say a word that has alif like mustashfa. I cannot say fil mustashfayi. Because alif doesn't have a sound like it's a alif as an elongation letter, as a harf mad. It's just a sound of the previous letter. So the harf jar does not affect the alif. So while we say al-baytu being the origin, fil bayti, min al-bayti, ila al-bayti, because these are all huruf al-jar, fil bayti, in the house, min al-bayti, from the house, ila al-bayti, to the house. But if I took a word instead of al-bayt, I took a word that has alif at the end, like mustashfa, I say fil mustashfa. The original word is mustashfa. I say fil mustashfa, min al mustashfa, ila al mustashfa. The word mustashfa doesn't change, even though it's preceded by harf jar. So that's really the purpose of this particular exercise. And the alif, that's regardless if the alif is alif maksura, meaning the alif that comes on the ya, or the normal alif like America. This is still the case. طيب. Let's read them and read the meanings. So fi, min and ila are huruf jar. They make the next word majrur. Let's read them with the meanings. The first line, Ukhti Shima. Yeah.
Al-baytu, the house.
Naam.
Fil bayti, in the house.
Naam.
Min al-bayti, from the house. Ila al-bayti, to the house.
Excellent. Next one. Al-mustashfa, which means hospital. The hospital.
At the hospital.
No.
Fil mustashfa, in the hospital.
Naam.
Min al mustashfa, from the hospital. Ila al mustashfa, to the hospital.
Excellent. Next one.
America, America, from America. In America.
Naam.
In America, in America.
From America
Ila America, to America.
to America. Excellent. Next one.
Almania.
No. Germany. Here, okay, we'll read the next one. This is the mistake everyone makes. Al here is the hamza. You notice there's a hamza on it, not alif, not al-wasal sign. So this is not alif al-wasal, it's not hamza al-wasal, it is actually a hamza, which means we have to pronounce it. Fi Almania. So this al is not the al of specific. This is al part of the original word. The name is Almania. We cannot remove al and say mania. The name of the country is Almania. So we have to be careful. So there's some words like this where there's alif lam, but it's not the alif lam of al-ma'rifah, which is the specific. As you see the hamza sign.
Yeah.
Whenever you see that hamza sign, you have to pronounce the hamza.
But here there's no
Atas, the fatha, they should be. I think they did that on purpose to trick us. Because if there was fatha, it would be easier to recognize. So the author, mashallah, he's very good at these tactics. Dave, the next one.
Almania, from Germany.
Naam.
Ila Almania, to Germany.
Excellent.
I'm always confused. Armenia and Armania.
Armenia?
Yeah.
Armenia is
It's a country, Armenia.
right.
Armenia. A-R-M-E-N-I.
Romania. You mean Romania?
Armenia.
Armenia. نعم. This Germany, Almania. لا. طيب, let's read the next and we'll write them. We'll read them first and I'll give you time to write. Alhamdulillah. يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم. We'll read the first one. Whose turn is it to read? Okay.
هذا طبيب من إنجلترا.
نعم.
This طبيب doctor
Yeah.
is from England.
Excellent. Next one.
ذهب حامد إلى فرنسا. حامد went to France.
Excellent. Next one.
محمود مريض هو الآن في المستشفى.
في المستشفى.
في المستشفى.
Excellent.
Mahmoud is unwell, is sick.
No.
He is now in the hospital.
Excellent. Next one.
ذهب عبد الله من ألمانيا إلى إنجلترا.
نعم. Abdullah
is from Germany.
went. Abdullah went. Dhahaba means went. So Dhahaba Abdullah means Abdullah went.
To Germany. It's from Germany.
No, he went from Germany
From Germany to England.
to England. He went from Germany to England. No.
This book belongs to Isa and that book belongs to Musa.
Excellent. Notice Isa and Musa stay the same, even with the presence of the harf jar, because they end with alif maksura. Isa and Musa. Isa and Musa mentioned in the Quran more than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yesterday there was a Christian guy at Masjid Wilaya, and he's Catholic from Almania, from Germany, and I was showing him in the Quran like how the Quran is preserved through letter for letter, people memorize it and all of this, and then we started talking about Isa alayhi salam, and in the end he said, you know, all religions were all the same.
How did you respond to that?
He said, I responded by saying, I said, you're right, there are a lot of similarities. He's talking about Christianity specifically. Like, you believe in God, we believe in God, right? I said, you're right, there is a lot of similarities, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, على كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم ألا نعبد إلا الله. That let's come to agreement on a word that we say together, which is that we don't worship anyone except Allah, right? So you have to show similarities first, and then I said, but there is a big difference, because Islam is the way I responded is by showing him that Islam is the only religion that truly believes in God being one in the true sense. I said, yes, there are religions that claim to be monotheistic, but I said we can narrow it down. I said this is not even from a bias perspective, because I'm Muslim. From a process of elimination, we can narrow it down to one religion. First of all, you have all the religions in the world. You can exclude most of them because they don't believe in God. And then you narrow it down to the three monotheistic religions: Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. And then you can exclude.
Christianity is monotheistic when they.
That's what they claim. So we exclude Judaism because it's a religion of race. Essentially, you can only be a Jew if your mother is a Jew. If your mother is not a Jew, you cannot. Me and you can never become Jewish. Christians can never become Jewish, even if your dad is a Jew. It has to be Judaism is like an exclusive religion. So it cannot be a religion from God, right? So we exclude Judaism. Then Christianity is the Trinity, which is saying that there are three entities, even if you say those three entities are one, but you're saying there's three entities. So the fact that you have to use three entities to make up one entity, we exclude that as pure monotheism. And Islam is the only religion in the world that has the true concept of one God, one creator, and there's no other religion that makes this claim. You know, if there was another religion, subhanAllah, that's amazing, that there's not even a religion, even a false religion, that make that claim that there's only one God. If there was, then that would be hard because to debate them, because they'll say, okay, there's a lot of religions that believe in one God, but actually, Islam is the only religion that believes in one God in the true, pure sense, the true tawheed. So once you explain that to them, they cannot respond to that. That's haqq. That's
some business would feel offended.
no, they cannot respond. So I told him. So he looked and he they come to the realization sometimes. So I said, come become a Muslim. Oh, no. I'm a Christian. So even despite seeing the truth, clarifying the truth to them, at the end of the day, it's a matter of the heart. Allah guides. Hidayah. Saying after that session, I went to, I have a dessert shop near my house, and the owners are Christian. They actually a committee from the church, and they opened up these dessert places to help, I think they help fund the church, or the church members are investors in the business. Anyway, what happened was, I'm like friendly with them and they're friendly with me, but very surface level. Yesterday I was waiting for my satay, they had satay stand, and I got into this big conversation with the owner. It's Chinese Christian, and I was explaining to him how the Quran is actually an explanation of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in the Torah and the Injil, the Gospel. And yani broke it down, subhanAllah, in a way that it makes so much sense to follow Islam, because of, a lot of the time they don't know things. You'll be surprised, the non-Muslims, sometimes they don't know the most basic things about Islam. Like, for example, that we believe in Jesus. A lot of Christians don't know that we believe in Jesus. Like we believe in the gospel, the original gospel. They don't know this. They think Islam is like a new thing that came and a completely isolated religion. So I explained to him the history from Adam to through Musa and Jesus and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I explained to him the Council of Nicaea, how the Christians, they got together to dispute the dispute the nature of Jesus. The Council of Nicaea, which was 300 years after the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why the church fathers and the scholars in Christianity got together to discuss what is the true nature of Jesus. They themselves, they weren't sure about it. And this was 300 years after Isa alayhi salam. One group said, he is God. Another group said, no, he cannot be God. God is the God. So Jesus must be the Son of God because he performed miracles and he spoke as a child and he raised from the dead. And a third group said, no, he's neither God nor the Son of God. He's a messenger of God. These were the true Ahl al-Kitab. The ones who said that Jesus is God and the Son of God, they got together and fought against the ones who said that Jesus is neither God nor the Son of God. And then from that point in history onwards, they considered it as what's that word? Heretic. There's a word, heretic, but there's a word to explain. A heretic is the person. But, heretic, no, it's the same word, but it's hereticy. Heresy. I don't know what's happening to my English. Mungkin sebab saya duduk sini 10 tahun lama, mungkin tak ada bahasa Inggeris, cakap bahasa Arab dan bahasa Melayu saja. What is that? Heresy.
Yeah, heresy.
They were considered as heretics, whoever said that Jesus is not God or the Son of God. So that's how the history of Christianity started. So he said, the Chinese guy was trying to say to me, the Islam, they broke off. How did Islam break off? So I explained to him everything, and I told him, how did Christianity break off? Islam was the true religion. And he was like shocked because it makes sense.
It's not known to them.
It's not known to them as well. It's not known to. If it was known to them, they would become Muslim, not Christians. These are Buddhists. These are people who are Buddhists, who are, Buddhists are very strong, like family and culture and so on. They don't just give up their religion for no reason, but they're giving. But in Malaysia, they're all giving up their religion, but not to become Muslim, to become Christian.
Yes.
Why? You know what he said to me in the end? He was happy. In the end, we broke. He was surprised that there were so many similarities. And then in the end, I said, yes, there are a lot of similarities, but the main difference is that we believe in the pure monotheism, whilst Christians have a corrupted understanding of who God is. Jesus is, yeah.
Some people even call them idol worshippers.
They're like idol, the human worshippers. So I said, you know, we believe that Jesus, you believe that Jesus is God, we believe Jesus is a messenger of God, there's only one God. And he said, yeah, that's the difference, ha ha ha, and we started laughing. And he said, you know, I'm very happy that we can have these conversations because I feel like people are so closed here in Malaysia, I cannot have conversations like this with them. I said, you know what, you have a point. You know, sometimes it's hard to talk about these things with people, but we have to be more open and discuss these issues without malice. Everyone has a choice at the end of the day. You can choose to stay a Christian, you can choose to learn about Islam.
The thinking of non-Muslim Malaysians, Chinese or Indians, they always think that when we try to share about Islam, they think we're trying to convert them. That's their thinking all the time. And also the other reason why they would go from Buddhist to Christian or Hindu to Christian or not Islam, because in Islam there's so many restrictions.
Yes. Actually, there's not so many restrictions.
They can still drink, they can still
That's true. There's two. I narrowed it down to two things. Over the years, dealing with these people, because I deal with a lot of Chinese and so on, I narrowed it down to two things. Why they choose Christianity over Islam. Number one, the Christians are they're very active in the sense they know how to build community. And unfortunately, it's sad to say this, but we don't know how to build that community. In what sense? We do have, alhamdulillah, we're active, like the masjid is active in Ramadan, they feed people, that's excellent, right? But we're talking about community building,
engaging
on a weekly basis. Bringing the youth, the first, when they have free time, or they want something to do, or the first place they should be thinking about is the masjid. But we're not creating that environment for them. Community activities, they should be doing sports, they should be going outings, going on a regular basis, not only once in a blue moon or once a year, or do you know what I mean? That's number one. So you feel like the masajid committees are like very exclusive. For old people, for old people.
And very formal, not
you know, Uncle, my local masjid, I've lived in my area for 7-8 years, and it took me like 5 years just to get to know what some of the committee members on a more, even till now I don't know them on a really personal level, but just to be able to open that door of basic communication. It took me like 5 years. Can you believe it? 5 years. That's something like very normal for us, like the way we were brought up in Australia, because we're very multicultural. And because we're a minority of Muslims in a Muslim majority, in a non-Muslim majority country. So whenever we see a Muslim, we open up straight away. Assalamu alaikum, where are you from? What do you do? Where do you live? They'll open up about their family, about their life, about their work. So on the first 2 meetings or 3 meetings, you know so much about the person. But in 5 years, I know less about my the locals at my masjid than I do about someone I met. This is a shortcoming on our behalf, right? So the Christians, they don't have this. The Christians are more active in terms of their weekly church gatherings, right? A community, they're always organizing activities to do things outside and so on, right? This is how the masjid should be.
Activities, but not mosque is for the old people.
More for the old people and so on. That's number one. Number two, like what Sister Shema said, they feel that Islam is too restrictive. So if they become Christian, they can still drink, they can still what do you call it? Drink alcohol, they can still date and all of these things. But actually, we have to show them that Islam, yes, it does have restrictions, but it's not restrictive. There's a difference. There's restrictions, but Islam is not restrictive. On the contrary, Islam is, you're allowed to do everything, except what the Sharia specifically or explicitly mentions is haram. But otherwise, the origin, al-aslu fil ashya' al-ibaha, the origin in things is permissibility. And the Prophet ﷺ, we'll finish off here. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ مُيَسِّرًا, that I was sent to make things easy for the people, not to make things difficult. But we sometimes make things difficult for ourselves, and we make difficult things for others, and it prevents them from coming to Islam, unfortunately.
Even in Australia, I can't remember some in the suburb in Melbourne. I remember. I forgot the name of the suburb. Suddenly, there's this masjid in the middle of a Christian neighborhood. I was shocked.
SubhanAllah.
They allow azan and everything.
Wow.
I forgot exactly which,
the
name of the mosque.
No. So usually in Australia, in Sydney, we don't have adhan. But
I think another big
yeah.
Islam is being politicized.
Politicized,
There's a political party
Yes,
that
yes.
seems to be the bearer of Islam.
Yes.
So then it becomes
A tool. They use Islam as a tool to serve their personal agenda.
Attractive to non-Muslims and non-Malays.
Sahih, that's right. I agree.
And also it's taught as a fatalist.
Yes.
You do wrong, you're damned in hell.
Yes.
There's no forgiveness.
Yes.
You do something wrong, I mean, you ask people to repent.
Yeah.
Allah is most forgiving.
Yes.
But you tell people,
You're in the hellfire, then you're not giving them any hope.
Yes.
It's true.
In my state, in Sembilan, there's a lot of factories.
Yeah.
Some of the factory workers, the girls especially.
Yeah.
You know, the extramarital sex.
Yeah.
And then they become pregnant.
Wow.
You go to the imam said, that's it, you're damned in hell.
Right.
And then the priest will come, no, don't worry, my child.
Yeah.
My God will forgive you.
Yes. Right.
So
It's more so Christianity is more appealing to them in that sense.
More appealing to these people who
Sahih.
have sinned.
So.
And they're looking for salvation.
And Allah says in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا يا أيها الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا. Don't despair from the mercy of Allah. Allah forgives all the sins. And He's saying this to people who their sins have accumulated and compiled.
They're looking for salvation. And
Yes.
you tell them
And you're turning them away. Allahul Musta'an. Allah Musta'an. نعم بارك الله فيكم جزاك الله خير. We'll continue next week إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.